being part of this journey, and couldn't have done it without people's support, the community, and I find that like this has been the one of the most precious moments in my life. 11 years ago, last year, I posted a video. It was like an hour long of a stream, just sharing about like everyone that has contributed in my life, in dance, in my journey as an artist, and you know, it really has been an honor, and I just want to continue to go in depth with that every year, I guess in the next 10 years, and this is volume 2. So just compared to last year's stream, I wanted to make this a little bit shorter because an hour is quite long. But first things foremost, always want to acknowledge my faith. I'm a believer of Christ, and you know, without Christ, I could not have done any of this without His guidance, truly and emotionally and spiritually. You know, He definitely led me to this pathway and really guided me through the ups and downs and through the trials I've gone through. I just want to acknowledge him, and to let everybody know that, you know, I'm not the one doing all of this in my life, but He's the one fully leading me and putting me into that pathway. So thank you, Lord. Secondly, I want to thank my family, just for acknowledging the fact that, you know, having a family to support you in this artist life is very, very important. So I want to thank my mom and dad, and you know, my dad all the way in the Philippines, and my mom who is just recovering from post-surgery this last weekend ago. So, you know, just sending her lots of love and energy. Thirdly, I want to thank my siblings, Joanna, Janice, and Jillian. You know, they've been very, very supportive with this profession that I've been doing, and you know, I cannot thank them enough for looking out for me and taking care of me, of everything that I've been part of, especially, you know, growing up and where we are now. So today's topic I would like to acknowledge is my journey working with three things. One is with Tony Tran. Tony Tran, huge respect and love for you and your craft and what you do. I remember when I just sort of met you, it was, I knew of you, I think 2004, 2005, and we used to work right across from each other at the Sunridge Mall. I worked at Yoga Cruise, and you worked at Colonel's, and you know, Maggie Tran was there, and Christine Simonte, which they're both married now. The following year, we met up at the dance montage auditions in 2006, and you know, I had no idea that you also danced, and which was amazing and awesome. The following year, got a chance to work with you in my very first piece in 2007, and in 2008, which is exactly 10 years ago, I got it was our first time working together, and my first time being exposed to house dance and culture. And I just remember, you know, like 10 summers ago, you know, took the time to train me and help me learn, you know, the basics and the foundations and the fundamentals of house dance at the time. It was very, very difficult and challenging for me the very first time, because you know, it was a hard transition to learn from hip hop and funk styles and breaking, and you know, just listening to house music. It's a whole nother culture. It's a whole nother the vibe and groove, and it's, yeah, man. I just remember coming to university, and we would go to Carnegie Hall or in the education building in the basement, and we used to train there. And yeah, man, you definitely took your time and the patience to not only share your knowledge with me, but you know, I'm really, really grateful for that opportunity and your way of introducing house dance into my life, and you know, it's a big part of me now. Secondly, that within that project, it was called Dancing to Be Free in 2008. first time creating and putting something together in that setting, made me realize, and it made me feel that, you and I have gotten the chance to not only work together, but also get to know each other in our friendship and also in our professional relationship, which is awesome. Recently, I got a chance to see you back in basically just a couple months ago in London, and I was just so proud and happy to know where you are now and how much you've grown, and still up to this day how much of an impact you made in people's lives, including mine. And you've always been a hard worker, and you've always known how to put things to perspective when you're in that place, and when you're in creating, and when you're also sharing your business of conduct, which is very, very important. Another thing I also learned about you, Tony, was that family and your family and your values and morals when it comes to family is I see it there. It's big, and even it's how do I say this? Something I really, really admire of you. And yeah, Tony, it's just been a crazy journey just to think about where we've been 10 years ago. Also, highlight for me when we were in London, I got a chance to take class with you, which was amazing. I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't taken a class with Tony in forever, and we weren't even teaching, we were just there to take class as dancers, and which was really dope. Yeah, man, Tony, again, when I look back at that work, Dancing to Be Free, yeah, in montage, and we selected, I think 10 or 12 people. Definitely an honor to work with that cast, and I'm glad that we continue to get a chance to stay connected and witness each other's growth in and out of Calgary. So Tony, appreciate it. Thank you so much for being you and being part of my life. And yeah, hope to see you continue to grow and find ways how to support you. Thank you, Tony. The other thing I wanted to mention, also 10 years ago, was that I got an awesome and amazing opportunity to work with Saxon Fraser. Saxon Fraser, formerly, or basically big, I would say one of the big influences in my life, and who brought dance here and presented it in ways that are just very, very innovative and very, very encouraging, and just something that was really, really well put together. The show that I was part of in 2008 was called Slam and Berry Jam, and the title of our piece was called Fluorescent Lit from Within. It definitely huge mark in my life. Definitely, opened my eyes in the professional world, and working with some amazing people, including herself and her sister Caroline, Lady C. A shout out to you too. We got Edgar Reyes, also running Ill Effects here. We've got Oliver Reyes, who's running Empirical Freedom here in Calgary. We've got Sabrina Nas, who I dance with right now at Decidedly Jazz, and we also there's also Natasha, which was she was 5 months pregnant at the time, and who I dance with at Decidedly Jazz Dance. And we also, I'm trying to remember if I'm missing anyone, Danny Nelson. It was also an honor to meet you for the first time there in that project. Anyway, yeah, Fluorescent Lit from Within, definitely a life-changing experience for me, working in that setting, and that vibe, and that professional world. It gave me a closer look as to not only how grateful I am and I was for that opportunity, but Saxon really put me in a place where I got a chance to not only share my talent, but also share my work ethic, and my attitude and example towards these great, amazing people who were in that cast. And thank you. In also in that very project, in Saxon's piece for Fluorescent, I also felt that when you're juggling, being part of like 2-3 projects, because that was the same year that I was also in dance montage. I think as an artist, it's very important for you to know how much you can handle in your plate. So definitely, 11 years ago, that was, how do I say this? 10 years ago, that was very, that's like a life lesson you gotta learn throughout your artist careers. You gotta make sure that you can't say yes to everything, and when you do, you gotta learn how to balance and harmonize those things so that it doesn't just overwhelm you, but you want to embrace it, you want to enjoy it, and you want to learn to love it and not take over you. Yeah, man, I still have the DVD copy of that show for both of them, and literally, Saxon, like, it's literally been an honor to witness you grow as well. Like, I've been following your work, your demo reels, what you've done in Montreal and outside of Montreal. It literally has been like an honor to know that, like, I've gotten a chance to work with you, and so definitely again plays a huge role in my life. I was really sad I wasn't able to see you guys, I think last weekend or 2 weekends ago, during the original Roots 20th year anniversary, which was, again, congrats to you guys. I wish I was there. I wasn't able to make it, but again, these are the people, like, you guys are the ones that I was first influenced by and aware of, dance that was happening in Calgary during that time. And it's, to me, it's pretty big, because it just shows, like, where we come from, and we're all like small town peeps, and we're all community minded people just looking out for each other. And I would say this is like before the Facebook era, and like, communication was simpler back then, in my opinion. But yeah, man, I felt that Saxon, if you ever do that show, I would always be down to not only watch it again, but be part of that process, because it was literally a lot of my friends who came to that show, that was like one of their favorite ones ever done in that setting, and like, you really crafted it very well. And even the following year, when you brought those artists from Montreal, and you presented another work for Simon Bear Jam, like, that was again a privilege to be there. I'll definitely message you when I come visit to Montreal, or when you come visit here back to Calgary. Would love to connect with you again. That would be dope. 2008. Yeah, that was quite a big year, I would say, for in terms of not only creating, but also learning how to juggle and being part of multiple projects. When these opportunities come into your life, and it's like a wave, and you want to make sure when you take on this wave, or when you ride on this wave, it not only resembles to where you are in life, but you want to make sure that it doesn't take over you. So again, those are the two biggest things I wanted to mention this in this live stream for Volume 2 of 10 Years in the Making. Tony, again, thank you so much for being part of my life. Keep doing your thing, keep rocking in the house dance culture, voguing, whacking, and I think you're coming to visit this December, which is awesome. So I can't wait to see you and connect back and see how you're doing and touch base. And same to you also, Saxon. Thank you for being an influence and encouragement part of my life. You definitely are like someone to look up to, and huge amount of respect for you and your craft, and I just hope that you continue to grow, and I hope I get a chance to see you and your work one day in person, because that would be an honor. Aside from that, also today I will be presenting an expansion of my latest work from 2015, Les Journaliers. I'll be auditioning tonight at the Community Genealogy Complex at 6 p.m. And yeah, this will be, let's see, I've created a choreograph for 2007, 2008, 2010, 2012, and 2015. And this will be my 6th time creating work for dance montage. And a big part of that is where I first started. So it'll be a privilege to not only come back there but contribute to the community. But it's nice to come back and know that we are still here creating and crafting work from from my era, and also from the era that we live now, just continuing to grow. But anyways, yeah, a lot of dance stuff happening this month, and I'm gonna continue to post updates for you guys and share with you guys for that next little bit of my journey. And yeah, thank you so much for your time. I hope you enjoyed the live stream, and I'll talk to you guys soon. All right, see you guys, have a good one, take care, bye.
They be selling Nike tongues instead of sneakers. Case, Sarah, Blase, Blah.